So Shakespeare Power Hour. All right. English teachers, hang on to your hats. This is what this is about. After school programs, this is what this is about. You can use this in another context too, but here it is, okay? Students will read, interpret, make choices, block, and perform a scene from Shakespeare's play Macbeth. Students will observe their scene connection in context to the other scenes, okay? What I have here is Shakespeare Power Hour Macbeth, Shakespeare Power Hour Midsummer, Shakespeare Power Romeo and Juliet. Before I tell you what's going on here, let me tell you and get into what's going to happen, okay? So I told you about our touring production that we would go around and we would perform and we would do workshops. And for me, the best way to teach Shakespeare is to get the kids on their feet doing Shakespeare text. But sometimes we're dealing with ESL, sometimes we're dealing with people who can't read the language. So, how do we do this? What do we do to put these things together? And we said, wouldn't it be great within an hour if we could do a Shakespeare play? Like you meet the guys at the beginning of the hour and you do a play as you get out. How on earth can you do that? How can we get through those? Cool, let's see if we can do this. So we cut a play that you can get through within an hour. Now, I would recommend a week for this unit, but it is possible to get through this within an hour, and I'll show you how it works. So Shakespeare Power Hour, you jump onto this little click. I have a brief description of what happens, but start a class, I walk in and I go, I'm going to put you 5 students together, you 3 students together, you 2 students together, you 1 students together, oh, they're here. I then walk over and I give them the scene. Cold, just giving it to them, okay? The witches meet Macbeth. Macbeth, Banquo, which 1, which 2, which 3. Okay, guys, we're going to go out and rehearse, and you're going to get this Shakespeare play ready to go. I'll come around and help you in a minute. Your job is to read and find out what's happening. So Fowl and Faraday I have not seen. What are these? So there's the first scene. Scene 2, I only need 2 people for that. So I got Megan and Carmen who are going to work on that scene. Next scene, the murder. I got another 2 people. They're going to talk about how they killed Duncan. Narration, Banquo's ghost appears. This is a hard scene if they've never seen this scene before. So I have, there's a description there. Whoa! All right, what's the matter with this tool? Hang on just a minute. Murder. Oh, yeah. No, we're fine. We're fine. 4. So we got 4 characters. It could have 5 in it. And there's the Banquo ghosts appear. 5, the witch's prophecy. Double, double, toil and trouble. They come up and they appear. And then we have the next scene. Macduff and Malcolm plan a rebellion to go in and fight. And then out down spot, there's 3 people right there. The castle is attacked. They come and do that. And then we have the final turn, hellhound turn. And then they finally vanquish and get the whole scene, okay? So through a series of 9 scenes, they do it. You pass it out to the whole class, and you say, go. You could teach this on Monday. Walk in and do that. Get them ready, they start putting the scene together, and they're going to stage it. And then I am going to serve as narrator between the scenes and say, once upon a time, on a very desolate, barren heath, can everybody make a blowing sound like it's... There's a battle going on. And then all of a sudden, these witches appear up out of the ground. And these 2 people, first scene on stage. So the first guys get up and they do their scene. Okay, great. Next scene on stage. Next scene on stage. Next scene on stage. And they go through each of those scenes. Okay, cool. The scenes that are harder to stage is when a ghost appears. And the double, double, toil and trouble, because if they've never seen this scene before, they don't know what's going on. So you become director, scene coach, going over, kind of helping, work on this. I'll be back with you in a minute. Come over, work with this. I'll be with you in a minute. Work with this, and they're able to work through that whole scene. Cool, okay? See, that's the principle of the Shakespeare Power Hour, okay? Now, I'm going to go back. It was such a huge success. We did another Shakespeare Power Hour of Midsummer Night's Dream. It's not an hour, man. It's not an hour. It takes a lot more time to get through. Here is a 2-person scene with 1 voice. How interesting. It's between Theseus and Hippolyta, who's silent. What are you saying with that? Okay. Here's the next scene. Here's the next scene. Here's the next scene. Here's the next scene. What we have done is we have taken these large scenes and condensed them so that they're little tiny essences. They're still doing Shakespeare's language. They're still playing, but they're able to get through all of that. Does that make sense? As they run through all of that? Cool. And that is how that tool works. Next, The very, very first one we did was Romeo and Juliet. This works well in a high school, junior high school setting, but it does not tell the story of the play like Macbeth and Midsummer Night's Dream does, because they're not group scenes. It tells the story of the play through 1 and 2 person scenes. Hang on, thinking, come on, little thing, come on. I'll wait while the spinning wheel of death continues to spin. What it does, there it is, okay? So what we wanted to do is we wanted to show how Shakespeare uses language in the whole play. So these are much shorter scenes, and they're 1, 2, 3-person type of characters between each other. Couple pitfalls that I want you to be aware of. I hand out the scenes to everybody. Football player gets up and he goes, hey, Bar, we got a problem. I got Juliet, and my best friend James, he has Romeo. What's up? And I go, yep, absolutely. Fantastic. Your scene's going to be fabulous. In fact, I found that those type of scenes are generally better than male-female scenes, because there's really something going on there, and the males and the females don't know how to talk to each other. But I put 2 girls in that scene, or I put 2 boys in that scene, and we get some really, really good scenes going on, balcony scenes and otherwise. You have a comment, Carmen. What were we going to say?
No, I was just adjusting my glasses.
Okay, cool. So I really, really love the Shakespeare Power Hour Romeo and Juliet for exploring language. I really, really love Midsummer Night's Dream and Macbeth when I am exploring texts and them creating scenes by themselves and working scenes of themselves, okay? The lesson plan, so I just plowed through that. There is a theater game that I play to get them warmed up. It's called Forsooth, and it works like this. We stand in a circle, and I go, Forsooth, and the next person beside me goes, Forsooth, 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 comes up to me, and I go, nay. And nay reverses the direction of the Forsooth. It goes Forsooth, 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 nay, Forsooth, nay, 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 Forsooth, 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 all the way around the circle, okay? It's like any energy passing game. Zip, zap, zop, you know, that type of stuff, okay? Then, across the circle, someone looks over and says, thou villain, and he points across the circle, and I would look at Megan, and I would say, thou villain. She receives it, and then she goes, Forsooth. The next one, methinks you are my glass. I look across the circle at Leslie and go, methinks you are my glass. I put my hands up like that. She puts her hands up like that, and we go, and we change places in the circle as we are twins. Is this a dagger before me? Happy dagger. The cool thing is you can make it up to be any Shakespeare line at all as you run through it. Just a fun theater game. You do not have to use this theater game. You could use any theater game in the place. And then Shakespeare Power Hour, and we have a description of how we put it together. And again, you can do Romeo and Juliet, you can do Midsummer, you can do any and all of those.